somewhere?
The who what? What video?
I hear a video playing. It might be me.
I don't hear any video.
Yep, that's me. Okay, let me turn that off. Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna do a look-see, make sure everything is off. Well, I mean, everything is muted on my other. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Where'd it go? Hello. Good gracious. Come on. Come on, Facebook.
What are you doing? A restreaming thing?
Well, I broadcast simultaneously to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And oh, all right, there it is. Oh, where's mute? There he goes. All right, now we're good. And I just have to jump over to the others, make sure they're on mute. I like to have them up just in case one or more of the platforms decides to end my stream prematurely.
They do that sometimes. Why do they do that?
Because they want to be butts. They
what a bunch of butts.
Yeah. It's as though they want. It's as though they want to, turn everything over to bots and save themselves money, cut costs, and indiscriminately, censor people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just insane. It doesn't make sense. And it just makes it harder for the small creators to actually get any work done. Okay. All right. I think we are finally A-okay. All right, cool. Welcome. So, hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We're joined by special guest, Dillard.
Hello there.
So, well, you got a nice deep voice.
Thank you. I have a question.
Yeah.
Before we get started.
Sure.
How did you hear about me?
How
did you hear about the Buckler?
I think it was in. To be honest, I don't remember. I think it was in. I'm part of a couple Twitter DM groups, and I think your title came up in one of the conversations, and they're about promoting books that are coming out that aren't getting the exposure that we think it needs, and it must have been word of mouth because I didn't come across it prior to that.
Okay. So some back channels.
Yeah, more or less. There's a lot of books that I hear about, but there are many more that I never even realize exist until people get in front of my face.
Yeah, that's the point, right? I mean, that's the whole trick of it is getting in people's faces.
Yeah,
that's the hard part.
Absolutely. I wonder if I can do. No. Maybe not. Nope. All right. Cool deal. Cool deal. Yeah. It was like one of those word of mouth things.
Well, that's good. At least somebody's out there talking about it.
Yeah. There are some cases where I literally miss out on a campaign. And before I hear about it, until by the time I hear about it, sometimes I have already. I mean, so the campaign's either close to finishing funding, or the campaign's literally already closed out, and that sucks.
It does, yeah. Like you're familiar with CG, right?
Yeah.
Like there's like there are the creators that have the that everybody knows and talks about. The Ethans, the Malins, the Myers, and all that. And then there's the slightly lower tiered ones, and then the thing is there's a whole bunch. There's like a big undulating mass of people that are like constantly like chucking the covers of their books up. Maybe somebody will see them. You know what I mean? And every now and then one gets picked off. Like, hey, look at that. That's cool. And then it just hits. And people start to see it. It's kind of snowballs. But a lot of times it just never happens. I've seen some fantastic books, because I'm friends with Pixel Trader, who does Indicron.
Okay.
And I every now and then I'll go on that site and I'll see like, oh, a campaign just ended. And I was like, what is that? That looks cool. I click on it. And it's like fantastic, beautiful artwork. You know what I mean? It just never shows up on the radar.
Yeah.
It's just it's a shame sometimes.
Yeah. Welcome, Forest Publishing. Good to have you. Hail the mighty WyzGyz. Hail the Buckler.
Hail the Buckler.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, when I first got into CG, it was late September, early October of 2019. And, it literally reinvigorated my passion and love for comics. I don't know if you heard my little blurb of a story, but I used to collect comics pretty regularly in the 80s, and I was dropping about $40 a week on comics. But then they made this big shift where they jacked up prices from 75 cents a floppy to about $1.25 to $1.50, and that was too much for my wallet.
It's double, dude.
Yeah, and that was also around the time things were getting more political. They were trying to make everything and more stories pull from the headlines of the newspapers.
Yeah.
They were trying to get more serious and
preachy.
Preachy, realistic. I mean, I like, photorealism artwork, but if all the stories are going that direction too, and all that garbage, then it kind of is opposite what I feel comics are, which is escapism.
Yeah, like I see comics as kind of like regular life turned up to 11. Like, for instance, this character that I'm doing, he was kind of created. Well, he was created on like a whim. I was live streaming with one of my buddies, and we were just drawing concepts for sidekicks, and I came up with this guy. And but I decided later, as I kind of started fleshing him out, to give him a personality. And something that really resonated with me was, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Pain and Gain, starring Mark Wahlberg and The Rock.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, there's a scene in that movie because The Rock in that movie is all spun out on drugs, right? And you're familiar with how The Rock looks. 6'5", 300 pounds of brick house, And he goes into a motel check-in little booth, little area with a baseball bat. And he starts wrecking the register, right? And I was thinking to myself, what would you do if a guy that's 6'6", 300 pounds of muscle, veins popping out everywhere, all spun out on PCP with a baseball bat, and you're in this tiny enclosed space? You're basically helpless.
Right.
I mean, that this guy, physically, this guy's on another plane of existence. And not only that, he has a weapon. You're not ready for it. You're at work. You're typing on your computer, and this guy just comes in wrecking house. And there's a lot of dudes like that. And like I knew a couple of guys growing up that were um, very he's just very outspoken and cavalier, and kind of did what they wanted.
Okay.
Of course, not to that extreme, but just kind of threw their weight around, and big dudes. Like, I'm a pretty big guy because I'm about 275 and I'm 6 foot.
Oh wow!
But they're I'm the smallest person in my family.
Yeah.
And there are people that dwarf me, and like, and like, it's almost that feeling of like you're standing next. So when you go to see a wrestling match live in person, and you notice how gargantuan these men are, or you go and you see a basketball game for the first time, and you see these people walking past you, and they're massive, they're giants,
They're so
and like, it's like that feeling of like, this person who's so just big. What if this person did just decide to do normal activities in the day, like jaywalk across the street or park in your parking spot? Do you go up and tell him something? What if this guy is off his rocker? And that's what the Buckler is. The Buckler is a character that's kind of like has a case of arrested development. He never really had to grow up. He always kind of had things handed to him, and he was a jerk about it.
Okay.
And so that's essentially what he is. This guy is a villain. That's what the book is about. He is a villain.
Oh.
And what happened, because he used to be a hero. Now, I have a book that I already put out as a little ash can, along with I remember I was telling you about my buddy that we kind of came up with the idea for it on the show. He has a hero called the Canadian Shield.
All right.
And he's a big, like a Hulk character.
All right.
And I made this guy up as kind of like a counterpoint. That's why his name's the Buckler, because the Buckler is just a tiny shield.
Yeah.
So he was meant to be his sidekick. So the story goes that this guy, the Buckler, was a hero. He was like a Phoenix Jones. He used to walk the streets and save cats out of trees, break up bar fights, and everybody knew him. He had a similar costume. It was bright red with white. And now he wears like a very dark maroon. And what happened was the Canadian Shield, this other hero, this big Hulk guy, comes to town looking for a sidekick. And so this guy puts his best foot forward. He notices that the Shield is watching him. There's a situation happening. He decides to show off. Does a backflip off the building, does a couple of flips, a gainer, and does some parkour off the side of the building.
All right.
And is in his flamboyance, he ends up bumping into the assailant, which causes the assailant's knife to go into a girl's neck, causing her injury.
Right.
Then the real hero, the Shield, has to show up and essentially, party's over. I'm taking over the situation. Matter of fact, let me, can I screen share something with you?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let me pull it up real quick. File open. Oh, you know what? I have the book. I can just show you the book.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
I wasn't expecting to talk about the ash can, but. Okay. All right, let me go back to the camera so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this was the ash can that I put out with his book. This is called Descent.
All right.
And in this book, it just shows here, it shows the, this is the Buckler. He's starting his rounds for the night.
All right.
He has a alarm set on his telephone because he goes out every night and, does justice. And then the bottom here, you can see the over here. This is the other hero, the one that's looking for a sidekick. This is the Canadian Shield.
Okay, all right.
He's kind of watching over the situation. So as that stuff happens, he shows up, and this is when the Canadian Shield has to come in and shut everything down. Like he comes, barging in, and I wanted to make this almost surreal. Like this is what the Buckler,
all right,
who is here.
Right.
Sees the Canadian Shield as. He sees him as this gigantic beast that's just flowing with veins and power.
Reminds me of Batman in Dark Knight.
Right.
Frank Miller's Dark Knight.
So this is the Shield, and he's telling the buckler, "You're finished. You're done. You're not going to work in this town no more. You don't deserve this cape." And he then rips the cape off of him and tells him, "You're done. You're finished. Wrap it up. Leave town."
But he's trying to be a hero, isn't he?
Yeah, but he just caused essentially the death of this girl.
Right.
Through his shenanigans and showboating. So he starts to spiral out of control because he's essentially built his entire life around being a super fan of the Shield.
Sure, right.
And he goes through a little bit of a psychotic break. And you have a little page here where it kind of illustrates his thought process as the Shield leaves with this girl, and he ends up finding he starts to cry, and he sees these girls are laughing at him. They're taking out the trash. They work at a restaurant in the alley, and they're laughing at him, and he can't take it. He can't take it. And because he can't take it, he ends up snapping and murdering that girl.
Whoa, crap. That went downhill fast.
And right when that happens, he immediately knows what he did. And he has another break, and he just can't take it no more, and he has to leave town. This guy down here with the camera, this is journalist Todd Harrington. He's very important in the news story. The one I'm working on now, the one I'm going to be campaigning for coming up next Friday.
Right.
Harrington is a reporter that kind of outed the buckler, what he did. And when the buckler was gone, because the buckler left town, very end of the book, you can see he gets on shows up at a bus station and gets on a bus and leaves town. So what happens is he leaves town he goes to Brownsville, Texas, way down south by the Mexican border, and he's gone for 4 years. This book is his return to Winnipeg, Canada.
Winnipeg, Canada.
And the character that I was emulating, the Canadian Shield. Okay. He was Canadian, so I made this one Canadian too.
Oh, okay. All right.
I had to learn about Canada a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that.
But what happened is while he's gone, Todd Harrington, the reporter, is now hooked up with his ex-wife.
All right.
So what this story is, and there's a whole bunch of things going on in the story. It's going to be a good 50 pages.
Yep.
But the subtext throughout all of it, the underlying subtext is about family and coming back and kind of reclaiming what's his in the only way he knows how. Because he went through this psychotic break that caused him to leave. He left and he's been training essentially under this guy named Guillermo Torres, who's an old boxing promoter down there in Brownsville. Okay. And he's been putting the buckler, he's essentially a surrogate father figure. Because the buckler's, he's irresponsible. He doesn't take being a full-grown human man seriously.
Okay.
He never had the trials to be a well-rounded individual. So when something relatively small happens, like getting dressed down by your idol, he goes through that psychotic break. What happens is he goes down there, his pitiful self, he goes down to Brownsville, and he gets essentially picks up a father figure in this guy, Guillermo or Willie Torres, and gets put through the ringer. Actually gets taught how to fight, how to use his body, how to use his abilities to become a very dangerous person.
Okay, all right.
Because the thing is, the buckler does have powers. He's not just a regular Joe Schmo. He does have the strength of about 3 men. He got them when he was doing his job as a small-time hero. Mm-hmm. He didn't have any powers to begin with. But what happened was he ended up getting into a big major car accident when he was trying to stop these, because there's not a lot of crimes in Canada. Okay. And when they had the Winnipeg Olympics was when there was a lot of people that were there that were peddling anabolic steroids. And because he got overdosed in this car crash that fell into a river with all the steroids they were selling in this. And when he woke from his essentially his 2-day coma, he was permanently 3 times stronger than a man.
Oh man, that's interesting.
So, and the thing is, because he has that power, he never actually had to. And there's no real crime in Canada, in Winnipeg, you know. So he never had to. He was never pushed to the limit. So now he's come back, and you saw how kind of how thin he was in this book.
Yeah.
You know, he's a little bit lanky, a little bit you know, not the biggest guy in the world. He's come back. He's put on 50 pounds of muscle, and he's a beast now. Here's an image right here. I've been working on this one for a few days, but this is what he looks like now.
Oh, okay.
So he's super jacked. And the thing that I wanted to really portray with this book is not so much action. Because like if you were to read this ash can, at no point in this ash can does any fist connect with anybody else's face. It's just intense violence.
Oh, intense violence. All right.
You know, it's because you can do so much. You can really rock somebody's world by just getting in their face and essentially the personal space that's around the person. You capture that and you make that yours, and you can really inflict some like psychological damage on somebody by not letting them out of that space. You know, and that intensity is what I wanted to kind of be on every page of this book. Now, I put in action just because there has to be a climax of the book. There is some action in this one, but the book is more geared towards trauma and drama. Like there's a lot of very uncomfortable situations. Like I can show you, for instance, let me share my screen.
That's an interesting take. Different approach there.
Yeah, I wanted to do it a little different.
While you're pulling that up, I'll read a few chat messages. Past Master Dan, welcome. Showed you some love. Thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate it. The art looks dope. And Eagle 43, welcome. Eyes wide open.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see this yet, but this is this is how imposing of a figure he is. This is a full-grown man that he's standing next to.
Oh, okay.
All right. He's a big dude.
Yeah. And
in this scene, he's actually visiting his ex-wife. He wants to see his ex-wife and his daughter.
Oh.
Remember, he only just barely came back from being gone for 4 years. He hasn't seen his daughter. His daughter's like 6 years old. He hasn't seen her since she was 2.
Oh, so he's just getting out of he just recently got out of that coma.
He just recently came back from being in hiding in Texas. After committing that murder.
All right.
So he's come back and he wants to see him, but he's met by this group called the Gateway 4. In his absence, there has been a kind of a resurgence of people wanting to do the whole we're superheroes that walk the beat kind of thing.
Oh, all right.
And this group, the Gateway 4, are there to kind of prevent him from causing trouble. Not that they can physically, because none of them have any kind of special abilities except for one girl. And all she can do is manipulate wind. But they're essentially there, and this guy is all up in his face telling him right here that you're not going to do anything, and I know that you're not going to do anything because this is your wife's house, and your daughter's probably watching from the window or something, you know? So why don't you just get out of here before you make a fool of yourself?
But this guy who's walking the beat, he recognizes the guy who was like in hiding for some time?
He was called there by the man now living with his ex-wife, Todd Harrington.
Oh, okay.
He said, we know the Buckler's back in town. Can you come to our house and make sure nothing bad happens? So they show up to make sure nothing bad happens. Okay. But the Buckler, he's going to leave. He is. You know, he's not going to cause trouble. But before he does, he reaches over and he gives him one of those smacks with his fingertips. And because the Buckler is essentially a super powered being, he ends up causing a ruptured testicle. And this guy.
It's like one of those X-ray versions where you see.
Yeah. So we see on the bottom here, the girl. This is Miss Maple. She's coming down to check on the guy, and as he's walking away, like, okay, well, I'll be back.
Okay.
This little interaction they have, and Miss Maple's not my character. This girl,
All right.
she's a friend of mine. Her name's Kat. She's an artist as well, and she lent me this character because she's also Canadian. Miss Maple.
Are those maple leaves?
Yes, that is maple leaf, and she has one here on her chest as well.
Oh, all right. So that's a character your friend made?
Yeah, that's a character she made. So I borrowed her, and let's see here. I got.
So you guys, like you and your friends that you've worked with, all you guys like do little like Easter eggs and have each other's characters in your books?
Yes, we do.
Cool.
And like this scene here, this is a double page spread.
Huh.
And this is the big. There's a bridge in Winnipeg called the F.A.M.I.L.Y.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a famous footbridge. People walk on it, like a pier over the river. And this is actually what happens after that incident with the guy's testicle. There's another guy that shows up, and they end up riling up the city because the Buckler does attack Todd Harrington live on TV, like super kicks him out of his chair as he's doing a broadcast.
What?
And Harrington is a beloved anchorman in the city of Winnipeg. So everybody wants the Buckler's head now. So essentially, you see she's back. This is Ms. Maple. She's back again.
Yeah.
And so is this guy. He's the leader here. This guy, his name is Vutti, and he's the leader of the Gateway 4.
Huh.
But they're back, and they're leading a group of people, like a riot, against the Buckler. And it's essentially about 400 people against the Buckler and his two goons. So that's the climax of the it's the penultimate climax of the book.
Huh.
And he's getting stabbed and all that stuff, and that's when the Buckler, when like, I don't know, are you a fan of like Indiana Jones?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so you know how Indiana Jones usually starts off with the ending of the previous adventure?
Mm-hmm.
That belongs in a museum, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I did with this book. In this book, the very first page of the book, the very first 6 pages actually, is the ending of a previous adventure. Before the Buckler shows up to Winnipeg, he makes a quick pit stop up in the Arctic, the Canadian Arctic. And that's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother little ash can that I'm working on called the Temple of Polar Twilight.
All right.
But essentially, he picks up additional powers.
Okay.
And I thought it would be really cute and clever if he had some sort of Canadian-based powers. So what I did was let me pull this up. Next one. There we go. When he essentially, when he gets to about 15% health, he goes into berserker mode, and moose antlers pop out of his back, and he becomes very powerful.
That's interesting.
So, and this essentially puts him on the same tier as like cosmic level heroes.
All right.
When this happens, that's when you saw that image where he was running down the right here.
All right.
When he has the power, kind of ooze. I'm playing around with colors right now.
Okay.
The power starts to just flow out of him, and he's flying down this pier. And as he's just rushing down this pier, the entire pier around him is just disintegrating and exploding. And then you got Ms. Maple down here saying, "What the fuck?"
Wait, is that a loose shard like jutting out of his upper arm?
It's just kind of in front.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's kind of like spiraling around him.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, I've taken a lot of time on these inks. They're very time intensive. The way I draw. Because I'm a really big fan. Like my inspirations are like Mark Texeira.
Okay.
And John Chris Felucci, the guy that does Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I really like expressive faces and gestures. So my characters are not photorealistic. They're really wonky. They have like there's nobody in real life that has a jaw that big that the butler has. You know what I mean? But what I try to do to make up for that is I do the outrageous expressions, but then I try to really render it to make it look believable.
Okay, all right.
Which is why I go in really hard with the hatching and stuff.
Wow. Yeah. Welcome, Rosetta Allen. Love you guys. How's it going, Kino Subway? Hey, everyone. And Vazen I'm not sure if I pronounced that right.
Oh, is that Vasen Kasai?
Vasen Kasai. What's the sound effect of moose antlers plopping out?
Kind of like you ever like broke a rack of ribs?
Oh, like broke a rack of ribs. Okay.
That's what it sounds like. Because what happens is they do grow out of his back and just to kind of explode out.
Oh, damn.
And it does put him in a pretty severe amount of pain, but it goes away almost immediately. Then with the additional power, it's basically a euphoric experience.
Okay.
And this is the cover that I had been working on for some time. This is a mock-up. I haven't actually scanned the cover in yet because I painted this traditionally.
Oh, really? What style of paints?
Acrylic.
Acrylic. All right.
Except for the haze on his chest and the haze on the glass shields of the riot police. That's airbrush.
Oh, wow.
But the rest is just acrylic paints.
Acrylic paints and airbrush.
Yeah. So and also these are all Easter eggs on the cover here. Like the police girl back here. That's my friend Kat, the one who owns Miss Maple, the character. This is Shabby. This is my friend Muttman, who does the Hero comic, Blood of Patriots.
Blood of Patriots.
And this is my buddy Rick Piper, who does the Canadian Shield.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh, actually, you know what? I have it. Let me stop sharing for a second. And that's the painting right there.
Oh, okay. All right. How big is that?
That is 21 by 17. No, it's bigger than normal, but it's not the correct proportion, so I'm going to have to trim off a little bit of the sides to make it a proper cover.
Right.
But I got to go get that scanned in because that won't fit on my scanner bed. It's way bigger than I can handle.
Okay. Who would you normally go to get that kind of high resolution scanning done?
Oh, I can go to the FedEx office I have here. They have a big bed scanner.
Oh,
they can scan up to 30 inches.
Wow.
And I think they scan it like, I don't know, something crazy like I think like 12,000 DPI or something.
Oh my gosh! Damn, that's big. Welcome, Fate Salvation. Hello, everyone.
Hey guys.
Good artwork, Kino Subway says.
Oh, thank you, Kino Subway. I appreciate it.
Let's rewind a bit. I want to get a better feel for, where you're coming from. How do you even get to this point at which you're out here releasing your own books? What is your quote unquote origin story?
All right. So I've been in a lot of different kinds of artists for a while. The majority of my life. When I first finished high school, I used to actually do professionally. I would draw items that were for sale in a catalog.
Oh my gosh. You mean similar to what you'd find in, say, JCPenney or Sears catalog?
Yeah. But it was actually like a lower tier Skechers shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Skechers is pretty big nowadays.
It wasn't when I was younger, and they were notoriously for poor people. Because they were all, yeah, the Skechers originally when the Skechers shape ups, you remember those?
Okay, yeah.
The shoes that had the round bottom.
Yeah.
They were supposed to work out your butt.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Skechers shape ups that Skechers became expensive because they were only available usually at Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Like they were the off-brand shoe, and that's when I was working. over there.
Oh, man.
And then, I kind of stopped, got a regular job. But I would always do things on the side. Like I used to do face painting at kids' parties. I used to also do caricatures. I would sit down and draw people as caricatures, which was really, it worked well for me, which is how it really helped me develop my expressiveness, getting expressions down, kind of getting the core of what a person's features are, and being able to do it quick, because they're bored of sitting there already. As soon as they sit down, they're bored.
No, well, that's fast.
So I was able to get black and white caricatures done in about 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, that was good.
Well, how do you even learn those skills? I mean,
That's just drawing. Okay, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about how I became an artist. I used to think that I wanted to draw, right? Because my dad he was in prison when I was younger, and he used to send me letters, and on the envelopes he would do his little jailhouse drawings. They were crummy, but I used to try to copy them, he drew people in prison, they draw stupid things. They draw the guard tower. They draw what they see around the yard, and he would send me those letters and I would try to copy them. And around about, because he wasn't good at all, but it was just something to do. So I was better than him around about 8 years old. And I was like, okay. And then I started doing different things. And he had this guy come over, and I'm an immature person. Like the Buckler is very much of a self-insert. I'm an immature person. I like to do things to spite people.
Okay.
And there was this guy that my dad had. He was one of his friends from prison. He had living in the garage of our house.
Oh.
And he fancied himself an artist because he used to do airbrush on T-shirts.
All right.
And he told me that I couldn't be an artist because all good artists are left-handed. And so, I was like, well, F you, I didn't talk to him the rest of the time he lived there. He was there like 4 more months. I didn't talk to him. I hated his guts from then on out.
Damn.
So I really wanted to get better than him before he left. Because he was better than me. And I didn't get better than him before he left, but I got close. But it was a lot of, dedicated practice. And then after that, it was just, I didn't have really attentive parents. Like they weren't on me about my homework or anything. So I was doing bad in school and I was basically just drawing the entire time when I was supposed to be studying and doing homework.
Do you poorly in school, grades wise?
Well, I didn't finish high school. I had to go to a continuation high school.
Okay.
I didn't have enough credits, but it wasn't because I didn't know the stuff. I just had a hard time just sitting down and doing the actual homework, which is what killed me.
Well, I mean, there are some people who seem to breeze by in school. I mean, it always looks like they're goofing off, but it's mainly because they're simply bored of the material. Yet
I was just genuinely goofing off.
Oh, right.
I would skip school to go fishing, I remember the truant officer caught me one time and he was searching my backpack and he opened up the little, I don't know if you fish or not, but there's little canisters they sell of trout bait called power bait.
Okay, all right.
And he was picking it out and he was opening it and smelling it. What is this? Just to see if it was drugs.
Oh, okay.
And then he picked up my box, and I don't know if you know anything about fishing tackle, but that stuff's expensive. And I had a small box that had compartments in it with many different types of hooks. And he confiscated it. I was furious.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But they say, you can't have these in school. They're sharp objects because they're hooks.
Oh, man. Yeah,
but,
you don't want to be fishing for your fellow students.
Yeah. So, that's why I just kind of grew up around artwork and drawing. Then I started doing tattoos.
Really? You went into tattoos too?
Yeah. I actually started doing tattoos in high school with a homemade gun. Remember, you used to be able to take a tape deck player? And you take that servo out of there and you put it on the head of a pen and you get a guitar string and you bend it and put it into one of the hollow tubes and it'll make the needle go up and down.
Oh my gosh.
So I started doing that.
Jeez. Wow.
And just always been doing something. I was always kind of around art. So fast forward to CG. What happened was around 2017, a buddy of mine, because I'm a truck driver, he was another driver, and he was like, "Hey, do you like comics?" I was like, "Yeah, I like comics. I used to read comics. I used to have the old, Sabretooths. Well, I was an X-Men kid.
All right.
I was born in '84, so I didn't really get into comics until the '90s. That's when I actually had, allowance to go get stuff. And I used to like Creed, things like that. The real weird stuff.
All right.
And, Trent Kanuga. But he was like, "Hey, do you like comics?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like comics well enough." He's like, "You want to do a comic with me?" Because he was super into comics. I would always see him every day. He would always have like a DC Superman t-shirt or something, And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do a comic," So I went online and I typed in how to make a comic. And I started watching all these videos. There's a lot of videos like how to draw anatomy, that kind of thing. And what happened one day was I just kind of left it on, and it was auto starting the next video. And I came across your boy Zach video.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, this guy's super fun. He's super into comics, right?" Because I don't know if you were around when he first started, but he was very animated about his ideas. "Oh, I have this idea for a comic where you're going to go into space and all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh, this guy's great." So I subscribed to him and started watching him. And in the meantime, we were working on this comic with some other guy. Oh, that guy from my work. I was working on his comic and trying to learn how to do that stuff. And then when I was watching your boy Zach, he was like, "Oh, there's a guy that is from DC Comics. He's starting his own YouTube channel called Ethan Van Sciver." And I was like, "Oh, cool." So I went to go check that out because he's an artist, right? So now I found a place where I can go and see a guy who does live streams. And it was great because I was a driver at night, truck driving. And when Ethan first started, he would go live at all hours of the night.
Oh, yeah.
And there was only like 12, 13 people in the chat.
Yeah.
So I was like asking him questions and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, cool. It was cool." And he was like a pro, he was like, "Give me advice." So it started moving along. And then from there, that's when I just started getting into all the different shows. Number one Marmaduke fan, Doug Ernst, Captain Cummings, back when all these people were still in the fold. And started watching all those. And I was like, I was super into it. I was like, "Cool, I want to make a comic. This is cool." And then Jawbreakers happened. And that's when I was like, "Oh, cool. We should do that on live online, like Zach's doing, right? If we're going to make this comic, me and this truck driver guy." And he was like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's fine." So we started working on it. I think I had about 12 pages done at that time. And then the guy that I was making the comic with, he got let go from the job that I was at. And he had to go over the road. And when you go over the road truck driving, like, you don't have no contact really with anybody. You're just out for a couple months and then you come back for a week or two. So that project died.
Wait, so when you're over the road, it's
yeah, when you're an over the road truck driver, you get 1 day back home for every week you go out.
Okay.
So let's say I pick up a load in California, and then I go to Phoenix, Arizona. Then from Phoenix, Arizona to Tampa, Florida. Then Tampa, Florida to, Colorado. And if I'm gone for 3 weeks, I can come home and be home for 3 days. It's a terrible job.
Okay.
It pays well, but it's terrible.
So it meant that you guys were not meeting in person near as often as you used to.
Right.
So
and then he ended up losing his house, and he had to move from where like about 10-minute drive from my house. He moved to up to the mountains, up to Big Bear area, where it was real cheaper to live. So now it's like an hour plus drive to go see him. So, and he's only back once every couple of weeks. So, and I'm not going to take the time from his family. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's essentially that project just died.
Oh, okay.
So I just kind of started a YouTube channel. And I started puttering around and hanging out with other people that were doing live streams, and that's kind of just how I started doing it.
Wow.
And I was kind of like just kind of hanging around. I wasn't actually working on a project. I was just drawing comic related stuff, meeting people, You know, like, oh, you remember that show, Drawn and Quartered?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. I was actually the first person that came from the fan edition over.
Oh, okay.
And I won.
Nice.
And because I would go on, I was harassing Mike in super chats, telling him he got no balls, you know, he's scared. So finally, him and Malin invited me onto the pro edition, and I went over there and beat him. It was great.
Oh my gosh! So but when it came to going back a little, you were talking about you actually learned how to effectively do crap. What is it called again? Where you're doing this 5-minute sketches of people sitting down.
The caricatures, yeah.
Caricatures. Did you literally just learn that simply by watching videos on the internet?
Yes. Mainly how I learned that was I had my wife and my nieces kind of sit down,
Uh-huh.
and I would just try to, as quick as I can, make it look like them. And then I would say, "Who is this?" And they, "Oh, if you know who it is, it works," you know.
Right.
And you learn what to accentuate. Like the hardest thing to do is to draw a person that has a featureless face, a nobody. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like they're like even or a very attractive person, like a very attractive girl. Because I would do these caricatures at carnivals and harvest fairs and stuff. And there were some pretty girls that would sit down, and they're very difficult to draw because they don't have any big features. They don't have a big chin. They don't have glasses. They don't have a mustache. You know, they don't have a very heavy featured look to them. They're just kind of generically pretty. Those people are extremely difficult to draw.
Mm.
Dillard is king. Oh, I like that.
Wow, that makes sense.
So it's really difficult. And so doing that, and I picked my niece Jessica. Because she's a pretty girl, but she doesn't have any, distinguishing features.
Okay, all right.
So I would use her a lot to practice. And she everything about her is very, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but everything about her is very generic. Okay. Flat, featureless face, straight hair, no glasses, no freckles, no contours, regular nose, regular mouth, regular cheeks, nothing special.
Right.
And just practicing with, drawing people like that over and over again, you get to get faster and you get to accentuate. If I do this, if I undercut under the side of the nose with a heavy stroke, because I'm doing this stuff with Conte sticks, like pencil sticks.
Pencil sticks, okay.
They almost look like pastels, but they're called Conte sticks.
Okay, so how does it differ from a pastel?
It's not as greasy.
Oh,
a Conte stick is like a halfway between a charcoal piece and a graphite pencil. It's like halfway between there.
Oh, really?
Whereas pastels are very greasy.
Yeah.
Almost like crayons. Conte sticks are a little bit harder, and they leave a better line. And you also get true blacks from a Conte stick.
Oh, all right. Now, with Conte sticks, do you also have colored Conte sticks, don't you?
Yes.
Is it a type of medium? I've never used Conte sticks, but is it a medium that where you can easily blend colors, or is it meant to just be striking?
Honestly,
colors.
I've never used Conte colors.
Okay.
Other than gray and white, I've never used Conte colors. If I want to do something colors, I would go straight to the greasy. Sorry, cigarette smoke is burning my eyes. I would go straight to the pastels, because the pastels you can blend and layer and make them real vibrant. The Conte sticks they're not exactly as malleable. It does have more of because it's between a pencil and a piece of charcoal. It's a more chalky, grittier, which works because when you're doing these bigger drawings, you want to have that. You want to be able to do a stroke, but you don't want it to be a hard black line. You just want it to essentially be a sketch. And your second stroke is where you want to define it,
Yeah, I mean, I never really studied how to do caricatures. I was once asked to do it back in high school, but I didn't want to take the time to learn it because I thought it would just be too hard.
It actually is kind of hard. But I don't think that there's any better practice for somebody that's an artist to get better at expressions and features than doing, and especially under pressure. You know, you have somebody that doesn't know you at all, is not your friend. They just gave you money and they sat down and you have to make it look like them. Yeah. That pressure on your chest, that actually forces you to get really good really fast. Because you can sit and practice all you want, but until that pressure is there, you're not going to make those big leaps forward.
Right, exactly. I
did have to give some people their money back a few times because I did not make it look like them.
Okay. Objectively, it didn't look like them. Okay. What in the heck is going on here? Why is everyone griping about StreamYards? You dirty, rotten StreamYards using SOBS. How can you tell it's StreamYards? I've already left a dislike in my rage state. Eagle, I cannot see your question. What the heck? Who the heck are these people?
Oh, those are people that go to my channel.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Is this the Dills guy from the Rick Mail appreciation stream? You know anything about that?
Yeah, we had a stream the other day. Rick is the guy, Rick Piper, that does the Canadian Shield.
Oh.
And I was constantly making jokes that all of his characters have heavy homoerotic undertones.
Oh, God. Okay.
And so they call it the male appreciation stream.
All right. StreamYards is superior, Ghost Mummy Fox King.
Why does this Dills guy wear a beret? I'll tell you why I wear a beret. Because I'm an artist and I'm super fancy. If you don't like my beret, it's probably because you're low class.
Oh my gosh. Way to be humble.
And my Prince, is Prince known for wearing a beret? I thought Prince was known for having that juicy S curl.
Maybe he did that song Raspberry Beret, but I don't remember him being one to wear a beret. Oh man. How long has the idea for the buckler been in your mind? Or
about a year.
A year?
Yeah. I think I could be wrong, but I forget when the actual stream was where I created him. But I think it was about a year, maybe a year and change.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a book on my own. I'm not going to team up with nobody. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Because I was just puttering around CG, going on contest shows, hanging out with Chester Busby on Fans Speak and all that. You know, and just doing that kind of thing. Kind of creating my own little, clique. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do it on my own. I'm not going to have nobody else to answer to. I'm just going to make a book. And I'm going to write a story. And so that's what I started doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that came out was this ash can.
Okay.
And then as I was in the middle of working on an ash can, I had started getting the ideas for this book.
Okay. Now, why did you guys even have a brainstorming event to come up with sidekicks?
I believe that it was because we were trolling him.
Oh, okay.
We were trying to make silly, stupid sidekicks.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what we were doing. So because his channel, I really like his channel because he's very animated and he's very gung-ho about his own universe. Mm-hmm. And he has this entire universe. I mean, a massive amount of heroes and villains. And they all look terrible. And he doesn't know anything about them. You know, he doesn't, what is this suit made out of? And he would say, well, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. You know? And so we were like, we were poking fun at him, and so we're like, oh, let's make some stupid sidekick characters. I think he was doing a sidekick for something, and I was doing a sidekick for one of his characters. It was just one of those things, just hanging out, and you know how to draw, so let's try to do something. Let's try to do something fun for the audience.
Okay.
Rick is a closeted straight male.
Hey, welcome, Eric McIntyre. Hey, what's cracking, homies?
Dillard, why you hurt me? I didn't hurt you. I didn't say anything about you. I thought that you liked my beret. I was calling you high class like me because I thought you liked my beret. Now, if you don't like my beret, that's on you.
Beret privilege.
No, my sister came over wearing this beret.
Oh yeah,
and I was cracking up at it because it was so funny, and I was like, I'm gonna wear that on a live stream, and I really liked it, so I just kept wearing it.
Meanwhile, she's all, why haven't you given me my beret back?
It's my beret now.
Go buy your own beret.
Does the buckler have a beret? No.
Let's see. You said I don't know anything about my characters. I get no welcome. Welcome, Evan Hotep.
Welcome, Evan.
Does the buckler have a beret?
No.
Yeah, it didn't look like it.
Yeah, he does not.
Eric is more.
He wears a superhero spandex outfit.
He kind of reminds me of who is it?
The Phantom?
Yeah.
That's what everybody says. He does look like the Phantom. I mean, it's I can't get around that.
Does even harder question? Does the Buckler's goons have a beret?
Yes, they do. He has two goons. Their names are Bull and Moose. And yeah, like they're both like outdoorsy guys because the Buckler actually owns a bait and tackle shop in Winnipeg.
All right.
And like, oh, you know what? I can pull that up. As a matter of fact, let me go share that real quick. There's a page. Do I have it out? Let's see. No. Cancel that file. Open. But yeah, he actually owns a bait and tackle shop in Winnipeg. It's where he lives. He lives above it. Okay, here we go. All right. So there's that. Oh, let me pull up the other page. Give me a second. I know I have to talk about the tackle shop.
Now, is there like an Easter egg whenever you cut to the tackle shop where you get a close up of that, the tackle set you used to own that got confiscated?
No, I should put that in there though. That'd be a good idea. I'm still in that idea. Let me try to figure out where I put this stuff. Okay, it's probably under Cosmonaut. Yep. Okay, I got it. Here we go. So let me share this now. StreamYard, share screen, full screen, share. Okay, so this is a scene here. Now you remember earlier when I talked about his origin story, where he ends up killing that girl in cold blood.
Yeah.
Well, this is that girl's father.
Oh.
It ruined his life. This is his Buckler's bait and tackle here. He's flicking out a cigarette and he's kind of buzzing because the girl Marie that runs the shop is waiting for him because he just got back in town. This guy here kind of waits for him there every day and harasses the Buckler because the Buckler essentially ruined his life. His daughter died. You know, his marriage couldn't take it. He ended up breaking up with his wife. He became a bum. He's super depressed. But it's been 4 years, so the Buckler's kind of over it. he's over feeling bad about it, you know.
Right.
So he's in the context of there's no dialogue on here yet, but what's happening here is he's ringing the buzzer, and he's kind of impatient because he knows if enough time elapses, this bum's gonna wake up and start harassing him, you know. And so he does, and he's like, "Hey, Buckler, you know, I got something I want to tell you." The Buckler's like, whatever, dude." But he actually breaks the bottle and tries to stab him with it, but the Buckler just kind of slips the bottle a little bit and lets him fall on the floor.
That's a good angle. Welcome, Timothy Olsen. He says, "Dope as ever."
So, and you see the guy still wears his wedding band, even though he's no longer married. But so that's his bait and tackle shop right there.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs. I'm putting in a lot of stuff. I'm having a really good time enjoying everybody else's ideas and characters, like the people I hang out with. Like one guy's like, "Hey, what about my character? Why don't you put him in there?" You know, okay. I'll make him a bum, or I'll make him I even made one of my other friends on YouTube. His name's Mallet. He has this ridiculous character named Xylo. And he's not an artist, and he's never gonna make a comic book out of it, but he likes to pretend that he has a comic book. So I'm throwing him in here as well.
So what's Xylo like?
Xylo's a guy. His power is he has what's called harmonic alchemy.
Harmonic alchemy.
Now, if that doesn't make any sense, well, you get it, because that does not make any sense.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, like that old Mythbusters episode where they get that Tesla machine and they hook it up to the Golden Gate Bridge, and by using the harmonic vibrations and adjusting the taps on a solid object, you can actually get the entire bridge to start creaking and moving.
Whoa, I had not seen that episode.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what harmonic alchemy is, except that alchemy and harmonics don't work together, so it's a stupid idea, and that's why he's never going to make his comic.
So, did they actually achieve anything in that episode?
They do. Oh. Yeah. He let me get out of here. Stop sharing. In that episode, they make a machine. It's about yay big.
All right.
And it's kind of like, when you push a swing, like push a kid on a swing.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't take as much power to get going as it does to just make them go a little higher.
Right.
So apparently everything has vibrations. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency, which is why you can, rub the rim of a glass and have it explode. So essentially what it is it finds the frequency of the material and matches it. So it starts to move and bend and bow. And every time it just hits at the right apex to cause an even bigger so on that side, on a reaction on the other side. So what they do is they hook this machine up to the Golden Gate Bridge, and nothing happens for like 4 hours. They can't register anything, but all of a sudden, like after the 4 hour mark, because it is working, you start to hear like a thunder happening on the bridge, like brrr, everything's vibrating and super loud. Like the guy's shirt is doing this, just standing on the bridge. And so then, okay, we gotta shut it down. We can't damage this bridge, So
whoa, yeah, you don't want to be responsible for the deaths of all the people on the bridge.
Right? It was a pretty interesting episode.
Oh, damn. Wow.
So, dealing with harmonics is interesting, but not alchemy.
Oh, man. Let's see here. Introductions.
Uh-oh, Mallet's here. Xylo is his character. He says they stole my idea.
Xylo is a masterpiece. Mallet CNC Works, welcome. But do they have good vibrations? Stole my idea. Mallet, make a comment. I would, but buy.
Do you mind if I throw my YouTube channel on the chat?
Yeah, go for it. Bullet.
Let me go find it.
You're not really selling it, lol.
Okay, here we go.
If I'm not
Copy.
mistaken, it'll let you drop it straight in the chat. Otherwise, you could always put it in private and I'll share it.
I put it in there. Did it show up?
I don't see it on my end yet. Let's see. Has anyone else seen this link? So this is to your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, what kinds of stuff do you typically cover on your channel? Do you do like draw streams, drawing tutorials?
Sometimes I do tutorials. Mostly it's just hangout draw streams. I also do pre-recorded videos of like sped up speed drawings.
Oh, nice.
And I actually started not too long ago doing videos where I take clips from the live streams where we hang out and make little cartoons out of them.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So those are actually really fun, and they come out really well. I'm no cartoonist or anything. I don't know how to actually make a moving cartoon, but for what they are, they're pretty fun. I'm sorry, my microphone stand is doing something stupid here.
It sounds like I could be wrong, but it sounds like I'm hearing like
yeah, I'm getting notifications on my phone. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'll turn it off.
Gregory said,
yeah, everybody's going live right now. That's why.
You literally told us it's a bad idea. Mallet, stop wasting our time and make a comic. When have you ever done a tutorial? Those cartoons are dope also.
Whenever I go to my videos and go to the very first 10 videos I did, they're all tutorials. One's feet, one's legs, one's hands, one's torsos, one's heads.
It's kind of like when Saturday Night Live did Fun with Audio.
I am not familiar with that.
Timothy's on Crack. I think it's what it's called. On my end, I still don't see any link drops, but
I'll DM you the link to my channel.
All right.
If you could put that. Well, I'll put it here in the private chat.
All right, that'll work.
On StreamYard, on the duck.
On the duck.
There we go. Yeah, so that's why, and that's when that's kind of when I took all the kind of ideas that I had rattling around in my head. I also wanted to do another one called like The Judge. We had another book out that did not fund. We have had a bunch of people that I was hanging out with.
Huh?
We tried to get together and do an anthology.
Oh wow!
And it was called Tales from Beyond the Gate, and it was going to be a horror anthology.
Oh my gosh!
And there was a bunch of people involved in that one, but that actually didn't fund. We had set it for 10,000. I think it raised like 9,800 or something.
Oh my gosh! So close.
Yeah.
Was that on Indiegogo or Kickstarter?
That was on Indiegogo. So that one didn't fund. So after that, I was like, you know what? Let me think of a better idea.
Was that on? Did you have a fixed goal of 10,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So it automatically kicked in.
Automatically kicked in refunds.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Dang, so close. Did you do like 2 30-day rounds of funding or full 60?
Full 60.
Okay. Have you guys thought about like relaunching that anthology?
We have, but I'm kind of the thing was when that happened, a lot of people kind of dropped out, and it was kind of left essentially up to me to do all of the promoting and all of the stuff. And I was like, it was a lot of work. Actually, it was like every day I was on at least 4 different live streams. And unless I was constantly out there on everybody, like the number would not move at all. I think we had 17 different artists on that book.
And the other 16 artists?
And nobody was actually out there like promoting it or going on shows.
Oh, crap.
They were all like, they would talk about it on their, when they would go be in the chat on somebody else's live stream, whatever, but nobody would actually like be out there hyping it up.
That must have been hard.
So I told, because one of the guys that was involved was Chester Busby, who does the Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition.
Okay.
I told him, if you wanted to do it, take it. Just go for it. Take my artwork and just relaunch it if you want to relaunch it. But I don't want to be. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, it sounds like you were literally towing the whole project yourself.
And the thing is, there was a lot of people that had some fantastic art. Like Jordan Stewart was in there putting in artwork for stuff. Todd Mulrooney, the guy that does Florida Man.
Yeah.
He was putting in artwork for some space horror story. There's a guy named Manny Correa who did Skunk Girl, and he had put in artwork. And things were coming together. The book was coming together. It's just that there was no promotion.
Man,
there was a lot of work that went into it, but just because of the promotion aspect dipped, it just was not funding.
Wow. And you guys got so close to it too, considering the other artists weren't really pushing it, promoting it.
Because I had thought of it as like, if everybody's on this and everybody's going to get paid, why wouldn't everybody promote?
I know, really.
Because I was taking what it was the profits of it was set up so that whoever contributed the most would get the most, right?
Right.
So if you put in a story, because the stories were going to be between 3 and 8 pages, So if you put in a total of like 12 pages, you got a certain percentage of whatever profits were left over,
Okay.
If you put in 3 pages, you would get a smaller percentage. That's how it worked. That me included. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I was going to get more money than anybody else.
Right.
And even the writers, it was however many pages the writers contributed, would get so much. So I figured everybody would be like, I want to do a bunch and let's go, but it didn't pan out that way.
Did you guys, did you ever get a chance to read everybody else's work, and were you really digging it?
Yeah, I was. There was some of them were kind of like, okay, that was pretty generic, but some of them were pretty good. Like, you know who was also in the book? Mike Barron. Mike Barron had a story in the book. John Malin was he was putting a 1-page little horror story in the book.
A 1-page horror story, damn.
Yeah.
Huh.
And we had a bunch of people, but it never went anywhere. I guess it didn't capture the imagination of the viewership.
Let's see. Timothy's on crack. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, very good crack, Evan. If you want some, I can give you my dealer's number. All right. My nickname is Best Mod. Certainly never time out Timothy for no reason.
Everybody wants a wrench.
I had no reason for timing out Timothy because you were jealous of me, Eagle. I would never link pics of dogs' genitals. I'm only buying the stupid book if there is a Rick Ashcan.
There's not going to be a Rick Ashcan.
Evan. What about an Evan Ashcan? Dillard, I gave your name to Calamity Cat.
Who's Calamity Cat?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, Mallet. Mallet's been on this crusade to get me over to Twitch. He wants me to leave YouTube and go to Twitch.
Why is that?
I don't know. He's crazy.
Eagle's jealous of all the open bookshelf space that they could buy shadow pulps to fill.
I bought a shadow pulp, and you're not satisfied. It was pretty good, though.
Is that another comic? Shadow? Shadow pulps.
Yeah, he's talking about like the old
Pulp Fiction.
Old shadow.
All right. Oh, if you do get the Buckler, you should somehow get the Buckler Ashcan.
I'm sorry?
Timothy Olson says, if you get the buckler, you should somehow get the buckler ash can. Is it going to be, are you going to make it available?
I might. Now, the thing is, I have a few of them here. I have about 20 of them.
All right.
Physically that I could ship out. But I also have the print file, so I could, in theory, just print out more and make it part of a tier. Or what I could do, like make it a stretch goal or something. Like if we get to 5,000, maybe I'll include it in the book.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I make it like the last, because I think the ash can is 16 pages. Make the last 16 pages the ash can.
All right. Sleepy Todd. Todd the Unbelievable. You should try again with that Beyond the Gate comic.
Who said that?
Timothy Olson. Beyond the Gate.
Well, the thing is, I still have my contributions to the Tales from Beyond the Gate. I still have those files in my computer. I didn't finish them because we didn't fund, but I could finish them up, and maybe I could include the Tales from Beyond the Gate stories in this thing. I have options.
So what is Beyond the Gate one of your own IPs?
Well, it was a collaboration. It was all of us together.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I was the one that actually started the campaign.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not like I own the copyright to Tales from Beyond the Gate,
Oh, okay. John needs to show up to my Twitch universe. Gregory says, most are just artists only. It's up to the creator to promote and sell from what I've seen. That's a good point.
Say what now?
They're saying that most people are just artists only, not so much promoters. So it's up to the creator to promote and sell from what he's seen.
Right. Yeah, that's actually how it usually works out. Because a lot of people, not everybody can be an Ethan Van Sciver. The thing is, not only is he an artist, but he's endlessly entertaining on a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I crack up when I watch him. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. Same.
And there are some people that are actually genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Like when you get Cecil and Malin together, they're funny together. On their own, not so much.
Yeah.
But Cecil and Malin together are hilarious. And some people they just don't do it for me. I'm bored to tears. Like, I think Dan Fraga is a fantastic artist.
Uh-huh.
I just can't watch his live streams. They bore me.
Excuse me. If Xylo was in it, it would have funded.
I doubt that. I would still be buried in emails talking about, please explain harmonic alchemy.
On that topic, would you care to explain harmonic alchemy?
Yeah, Mallet, explain harmonic alchemy.
Mike Barron, John Malin, wow. Make a comic Mallet.
Yeah, we even got a commitment from EVS telling us that if we funded, then he would put in a one-page story as well.
What, wait, say again?
Yeah, I went on Ethan's show for about, I think, what was it? 4 minutes? And he was like, yeah, if you guys fund, I'll put in a what do you call it? A page 2. I was like, oh, damn, that's dope.
Whoa. When was this?
This was a while back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a trip. That would have been cool, and even more incentive to get funded.
Right? Yeah.
John did
c'est la vie, such is life with my beret. I'm fancy now. So maybe because I'm fancier now, my book will get funded. I didn't used to be so fancy. I used to come on streams without even brushing my hair or my teeth.
But becoming fancy changed all that.
Yep.
John did not kiss up to the big guys enough. Why didn't you release it as a webcomic? Tep is asking.
Because I don't give away things for free. That's why.
A Xylo ash can. Shadow ash can.
Ooh, you got Cosmic Artist Pro Secrets is here.
He would be better on Twitch.
This guy's still trying to sell me on Twitch. He only comes into my streams to harass me about why am I not on Twitch.
Might I make an argument to why Twitch should be under consideration? Eagle is Rick Piper's alt. Evan wants to buy a Shadow pulp for $3 in shipping. There's another sale going on.
Aye.
I could hire Rick Piper to draw Xylo. I might, Eagle. Okay, I have to go sit out in 20-degree weather for a football game. Yeah, that's cold. Cold. I could hire Rick to get a job. Mallet, choose the line.
They're always constantly harassing Rick to go get a job because he doesn't work.
The chat is funnier. 3 Caps Comics. Cosmic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm pretty amazing. Spider Snake. Spider Snake. The man is fooling you. I've never heard of Dillard. Buckler.
Is this 3 Caps Comics? Is this an image of kneecaps? Is that what that is?
That's what it looks like. I don't know where I haven't figured out yet where the third cap comes from.
It's probably something inappropriate.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. I mean, real men, not dolls, wear berets.
That's correct.
Well, to be fair, I never heard of Cosmic Artist Pro Secrets. Have you heard of 3 Caps Comics? No, I heard of Comic Pro Secrets. Judge the question. Definitely not Eagle 43. Okay. Hello. Good gracious. Oh, my. Oh, good golly. Wait, how come it's not?
I don't know. These guys go off on their own. It's very hard for me when I'm streaming to keep track of the chat because they're very animated and they're very. Sometimes they can get very verbose with their typing, and they have conversations with each other.
Oh, sure, yeah,
and like not at me. So I'm not really sure when there's like when whatever they're talking about concerns me or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think when chat wants you to get more involved, they'll usually at you, you know.
Yeah.
So your name becomes highlighted, or
just
they'll
tell us, John. When did you get fancy? Oh, that was about 7 months ago. I had been working on it for a while, and that's when I think I crossed that threshold.
Oh, okay.
Now I got to get super fancy. But yeah, so the Buckler is going live on next Friday.
Next Friday. 1
week away. Still working on my promo video. But that's going along pretty good. Has like a noir feel to it.
Are you planning on making the video yourself, or are you gonna hire some talent to do it?
No, I'm making it myself. This is a one-man band. This is a one-man show. I'm the writer, I'm the penciler, I'm the inker, I'm the colorist, I'm the letterer.
Wow.
And, the only thing I'm actually doing is getting an editor.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it always helps to have a second set of eyes look over.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about hanging out with all these creators backstage, you know, off air and all that stuff, is that they all have ideas, and a lot of the times their ideas are pretty good. And a lot of them are also writers, and they know I'm really bad at grammar. Like I said, I didn't finish high school, so I'm not really good at grammar and that kind of thing.
Yeah. The Buckler, an epic dark comedy that follows a man's fall from grace and glorious rise to infamy. What is your vision for the Buckler? Do you see it as being a one and done book, and then you'll move on to a new IP, or are you going to turn this into a series? Are you looking at a mini series?
No, this is not a part one. This is a self-contained story. But I don't want to do ongoing series.
Okay.
So the next book I'm going to do is The Buckler, but it's going to be an entirely new story.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you've read The Buckler previous,
Uh-huh.
you'll have a much better grasp because there's going to be a lot of things that you're not going to know about.
Okay.
If you haven't read it, but it's not necessary for you to read one book to get the other. But I'm probably not going to be deviating from The Buckler for quite as long as I can.
Oh, all right.
Like, for instance, there's another book that I'm working on called The Temple of Polar Night, which is the entire story. Like, remember I was telling you, oh, you know what? Let me bring it up. I have those. Where he was in the Canadian Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
This chronicles that entire story.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be another comic. It's going to be a short one, like maybe a 25, 30 page. But there is... Here we go. All right, let me bring up the first page here.
All right. And when you were making ash cans, you were doing like traditional ash cans, right? The ones that are physically, dimension-wise, smaller than the average comic book.
Yes.
All right.
All right, let me share my screen. Let's go to StreamYards. And this is the first page of the book. So application window. All right, here we go. So this is the Buckler. This is how the book starts. And the Buckler is chasing down Todd Harrington. And he's saying, he's monologuing to himself in his head, saying, you can't run forever, Harrington. You're old and weak and a bastard. And I'm the goddamn Buckler. And I'm just warming up. So he's chasing him down. Then the Buckler does use firearms because he's a villain. But this is him chasing down Harrington because Harrington, I'm not going to say how, but he has gotten the sacred totem. Now, the reason I call it the Temple of Polar Night is because the Buckler heard about in the Canadian Arctic, in the frozen north, a temple that was kind of uncovered due to climate change. A big sheet of ice broke off, and some antediluvian temple was discovered. And people were going to go out there and, research it and investigate it. And the Buckler's like, well, I'm a villain, and I know there's probably some expensive, valuable stuff out there. I'm going to go there and steal some shit. So that's what he did. But Harrington got to it first because Harrington's a reporter. He was out there. That's how the Buckler even heard of it, is because of Harrington. So he was out there, and he's pretty much taking it. He's taking the totem away because it belongs in a museum, essentially, instead of being sold.
Uh-huh.
But the totem is what actually gives the Buckler his berserker powers that cause the antlers to sprout from his back.
Huh. All right.
Oh, my thing is not loading. I think I have too many windows open.
Oh.
Yeah, you might have to get off my screen while this happens. But that book is called The Temple of Polar Night, because what happens is they learn about it, but they go up there, and that phenomenon that happens in the Northern Hemisphere where you just get, a long period of time when there's no daylight.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's called polar twilight. So, it finally opened up. So this is him chasing him down. Let me close out some of these windows that I'm not using anymore. Oh yeah, this is the image of him arriving back in Winnipeg at the bus station.
I like what you do with the scenery and the lettering. That's pretty trippy.
Yeah, I like that. Was actually, remember the old comic Marvel Ruins?
That sounds familiar.
It was like a story like what would happen if the Marvel superheroes actually had powers in real life. Like the Hulk got irradiated and he turned into like some sort of like a gelatinous monster that was falling apart because of all the radiation poisoning and all that stuff. It was really dark, but this is how they did the covers.
Oh my gosh.
Every cover said Ruins, written like this, like kind of in the backdrop. And I really wanted to copy that. I thought it was really cool. Plus, I like that big bold, like when you watch the Marvel movies where it says like Moscow and it's really big on the screen.
Yeah, I like that too.
I wanted to make it look like that. So that's this image. Yeah, that's one of the double page spreads when he gets back.
Timothy Olsen is asking what you consider the sequel to be like.
What would I consider it to be like? I kind of don't get the question.
I'm not sure, but I think it's something like, what are you envisioning for the second book of the Buckler?
Oh, should I give that away? I don't know if I should give that away.
You don't have to.
I'll give it away. Are you ready for it? I'll give it away right now. Okay, so what happens? You remember that big dude, right? The Canadian Shield that ripped off his cape in the ash can? Well, the Canadian Shield gets wind that the Buckler is back in Winnipeg, and he's setting up shop as a crime lord. So the Canadian Shield comes back, and he says, I thought I told you to get out of town. What gives? So now the Buckler is back. He's in his prime. He has his super duper powers, and now he can stand toe to toe against somebody as massive and strong as the Canadian Shield. And so we have that situation unfold. That's part of the book.
Oh, okay.
The second one. Okay, so this is Todd Harrington, right?
Hold on. All right.
So this is Todd Harrington, and he has the totem. This is the one that Buckler's chasing down. And you can see a little close up here of the totem he's holding. Then the next scene, we got the Buckler's getting a phone call. All right. And then you got a scene here of the Harrington jumping into the helicopter that's waiting for him. And the reason everything came to a head, this is the first day where they actually got daylight. So the helicopter is able to come and pick them up.
Okay.
So this is the Buckler chasing him down. Then, oh yeah, he's kind of screaming at him like, I'm going to get you, Harrington, you piece of shit. I see you. 'Cause he finally caught up to him. But these are all the first pages of the actual graphic novel that I'm working on right now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then let's get to the next page. So the Buckler, after he gets that phone call, oh, it's loading again. Damn it. Is my computer overheating or something?
I don't know. Does it feel
it's hot?
Oh. Yeah, it could be then.
But what happens in this in this page when it shows up finally. But what's happening is he answers the phone call. And oh yeah, it's up on your screen. Okay, so he's on the phone, and this is Bull. This is one of his henchmen. And he's on the toilet, and he's calling him because he says, "Hey, Buck, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a notification in the paper that your ex-wife and Harrington are getting married this weekend." So of course, this puts the Buckler over the edge, and he's like, he kind of hears it, he hears the news, just looks at the phone, throws it in the snow, and screams at the helicopter, which is already, kind of flying away.
Right.
That's it for you. You're done. I'm coming to get you. So there's a mad dash. And when he gets to the point, because remember at this point, he doesn't have his full on berserker powers.
Uh-huh.
At this point, he's just kind of, has the strength of 3 men. So what is going on? We got a lightning storm coming up behind him. But he makes a mad dash down, and he tries to make a jump from the edge of the cliff that they're on to the helicopter. And then that's where it kind of like fades to black. You don't see what happens. But you find out what happens in the next few pages, because he shows up to the Buckler bait shop with the totem. So you don't know what exactly happened, but he was able to get the totem from Harrington. And that gets revealed a little bit later in the book. I kind of nest these things inside of each other so that there's constant avenues to make you want to continue to read, because you're getting revelations the entire book. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha. Cosmic Artist Pro Secrets has a question. Do you have any questions about his comic Spider Snake?
Not at this point. I may have some questions later.
Have you welcomed a Shadow Pulp to your bookshelf today?
I have not, no.
Cosmic Artist Pro Secrets is a 26-year victim of the comic industry. I'm too illiterate for Shadow Pulps. Now, Timothy says, now that isn't sequel idea I think will rock. The Shadow was made for all ages.
Yeah, I really do like the way the Buckler looks in this as well. I actually had. You ever heard of the company called Hero Forge?
Yeah.
I got a Hero Forge made up of the Buckler in this Northern Expedition outfit.
What?
Yeah, hold on, let me grab it real quick. Let me show you.
How do you pull? Excuse me.
All right. I'm trying to reach it without actually, taking my headphones out. Okay, let me get back to the StreamYard. There we go. Okay, so here is the my little minifigure of the Buckler in his Northern Expedition gear.
Oh, holy moly.
The nice little pickaxe on his back.
Oh, damn.
This is so I like the way this game has little ice crystals in the bottom and stuff.
So,
because I was actually thinking about making a board game for the Buckler.
Oh.
And these would actually be used. Like it would be a module style game that uses like the same rules almost as D&D.
Uh-huh.
So you would need actual figures to play it as tokens and stuff. But I don't know. That's kind of on the back burner. All of this stuff kind of really depends on how well this book does.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this book like flops, right? Like I go live and I make like 1,200 and the book just takes a dive and just is terrible and nobody goes for it and nobody likes it. A lot of this stuff's going to have to go on the way back burner. The amount of money that I make from this directly will influence how much time in the future I have to even spend on it because I got a life and a family to provide for,
Right, for sure.
So, which is why it's taking me so long to this point. That's why I didn't want to go live until I had at least 75% of the book done.
That's not a bad idea.
Because it takes me a while, and it is. It's rated. The book's 75% done, a little bit over. But I should be done with it and the coloring like within about a month after the campaign ends.
Oh, okay.
So it should be good to go. No problem.
Wait, are you already right now, this very instant, already 75% completed?
Yes.
Whoa, nice.
Because again, I have to be responsible. I know that I can get the book done.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've done it. I've done a book already. It came out, whatever. It just takes time. It takes time for me to do these because of how, intensive the line work is and all that. It takes time. And because I only have a certain amount of time during each day that I can devote to doing it, it takes time.
Is this a project you're doing on the side?
Yes.
All right, cool.
So I wanted to make sure I got a good chunk of the way through before I even went live. So that's where we're at now. So that's why I'm going live next Friday.
Is your family pretty supportive of your comic career?
Oh, yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I only have a wife and one kid, but she's very supportive. She likes that I have something that keeps her out of her hair,
She's not like a big comic book nerd or anything like that.
Oh no. She couldn't tell you the difference between a comic book and a catalog. But yeah, I really like the way the Buck would look in the way he looked in this because not only that, I wanted to continue this look because he got this pelt from killing a bear. But when I did the other book, it's going to be in a different style. It's going to be in the Bruce Timm kind of style.
All right.
kind of like the Batman the Animated Series. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the cover for the Temple of Polar Twilight.
Okay.
It would actually illustrate it much better than I can describe. Oh man.
So the cover you did traditional acrylic paint and some airbrush. The book itself, the interiors of the book is all digital.
No, it's a mix. The thing is, I wanted to do some traditional art because I want a lot of people. They hit me up and they say, "Hey, can I buy a page of your original art?" Like right now, my commissions are all closed because they kind of like the way that I really put a lot of detail into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my prices are pretty cheap because I'm relatively unknown.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, can I get one of these? Can I get one of these?" And I'm like, "I can't right now. I'm really working on the buckler." But people like the pages. Like somebody hit me up about that page that I did physically, the one with the antlers popping out of the back.
Yeah.
Like they just hit me up in my DMs because I posted it on Twitter like, "Hey, check this out, new page." And they were like, "Hey, is this page sold yet?" I'm like, "It's not for sale right now." I'm gonna put them up as tiers,
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And the thing is, I'm only doing physical pages on the pages that are really cool looking or big splash, big dynamic pages. Like this one with this guy, I'm gonna do this physical because I think it's really cool with the guy running and when I fill it all out, the pier is gonna be exploding. It's gonna look really cool.
Uh-huh.
So I'm only doing a select few pages physically. If it's just like regular, filler to move the story along, I'm just doing those digital for speed's sake.
Right. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I think you touched on it earlier, but do you anticipate having several double page spreads in the book?
Yes. So far there's 3.
Oh, all right.
But double page spreads, you don't get a lot of opportunity to tell story with those because essentially it's just one panel.
Yeah.
Now you can put on double page spreads more images, but then it kind of takes away from the point of it being a double page spread if you got it all cluttered up with other stuff.
True.
So it's tricky.
Cosmic Artist Pro Secrets is asking, would you like to know more about my comic, Spider Snake?
Okay, so see this right here? This is going to be the style that I'm doing the other comic, the Temple of Polar Twilight.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, it looks like one of those old movies.
Yeah, that's why I did the the noir, the crime noir. I wanted to have that feel, and also remember the Batman the Animated Series, like all of their when the cartoon would first start, they'd have that cool title card that looked really noirish.
Right.
I wanted it like that.
All right, cool. Nice.
These are the plans. So, I mean, if this book funds and it does well, I got lots and lots of plans.
Cool.
To continue on the story of the Buckler. But again, that all of it hinges on whether or not, or it hinges on how well the book does.
Yep, for sure. Let's see.
So I would suggest everybody that's listening right now, go to the Indiegogo page and sign up early. You get free stuff. You get a free sticker. And I also have a surprise free gift for anybody else that signs up early.
Oh, nice.
So I can't give that away, but it's worth it. It's cool. So
the anticipation is killing us. Coke just got a product.
It's going to be fantastic. Amazing. The best comic book you ever saw.
Spider Snake was bitten by a radioactive spider, so he built a mechanical spider suit that he uses to take his revenge on the spider that bit. Okay. Yeah.
This guy says, I don't think this Dillard guy wants to hear more about my comic Spider Snake. I don't know. You got any questions for me?
Probably because I never heard of them before.
I got answers.
uh, uh, so as you touched on, early sign-up people, 3-inch buckler sticker.
Yes.
You'll get the latest updates and news from the campaign. And then you got some images here from the prologue, pages 1 and 2, and 4 and 5. At first, I thought when you click on it, it would allow you to zoom in some, but I know there's quite a bit of restrictions in terms of your...
Yeah, that doesn't really allow you to do that much at all.
Yeah.
Like the page is very bare bones, the pre-launch.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. How long did you say this book was going to be? Like 50 pages?
Yes.
All right. So does that still qualify for to be made as a floppy, or is it going to be...
It can be either. Anything over 45 pages can be perfect bound.
Okay.
I haven't decided on what I want to do with that yet.
Okay.
I'll probably make it a stretch goal.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Now, in addition to the free sticker, you also mentioned there's a special gift that is going to be a surprise here.
Yes. It's cool. They're being custom made right now as we speak.
Wow. Sweet.
So it'll be cool.
Indeed.
It's going to be cool, but you're not going to know what it is unless you sign up early and get the book.
Are you allowed to do edits to your pre-launch campaign, but prior to launch? You know, like once you've uploaded it and it's up there for people to sign up, can you make, adjustments, edits?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Because I was wondering if you were considering adding a little blurb saying you'll also get a mysterious special gift as well. Unless you're just
do that.
Unless you plan on just including it in your email mailing list communications.
I might do that. Either way, people will know. I'll see. I'll actually go into it today and play around with it. I haven't played around with it for a while.
Right on. Right on. The Buckler in Temple of Polar Twilight. Cue Indiana Jones theme. Dillard, whom I've never heard of before. Who is this guy? Oh, good. I get a sticker and a free gift. Yep. Like an amalgamation.
I don't know.
Nah,
but pretty... yeah, it's he said, "Oh, good, I get a sticker." Yeah, it's gonna be a cool sticker too. It's gonna be from Sticker Mule. The Pixel Trader hit me up on that Sticker Mule, and I ordered a couple of stickers for my channel with my logo.
Oh yeah,
and dude, they came out really nice, like perfect.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh man, so that's where I'm gonna go. They're a little bit more expensive than just getting regular stickers made, just because they're kind of heavier stock, but they're worth it, dude. They look really good.
Wait, are you talking about the ones coming out of Sticker Mule are really good, or
yeah, the Sticker Mule stickers are really good.
Do you have a sample of the ones that have your logo on
them? Not on me right now.
What do you do?
I have
stick it on your computer or something?
Yeah, stick it. That's what I did on my HP logo. I just stuck a sticker on the back of my HP logo.
Gotcha.
Put it on your car. Put it on your mom's car. Go put it on your ex-girlfriend's bumper.
I go, what the hell is this about? What's this sticker doing on my car? All right.
Would you like to
know? I don't know if you can share it or not, but do you have an idea of, or would you be able to share at this point some of the things you're going to be adding to your different tiers? Like, we already know that you're going to have some original artwork pages.
Right. It's going to be, are you familiar with Gary Shipman?
I've heard the name, but I don't know him all that well.
Okay. I really like Gary Shipman. He was one of the original group of people that came in with EVS and Malin and all them.
Uh-huh.
He's an artist, comic artist. He was even up for an Eisner a while back, but he has a book out right now called Titan, Mouse of Might. I have it right here. I ordered it. It's fantastic, dude. It's a really cool book.
Oh, hold on.
It's essentially if Batman was a mouse.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's all black and white. I mean, the way he does his shadows and everything are fantastic. But the way he structures his campaigns are really interesting to me. Like, he makes a separate tier for each individual page of original art he's selling, but at the same time keeps it super simple. So like I'm probably gonna emulate because I haven't finished setting up the page yet, but I'm probably gonna emulate off of him, which is gonna be essentially there's gonna be the book by itself. Because I don't think that let's be honest here. Most people that buy these books are adults. And especially my book, because my book's rated R.
Right.
Adults don't want posters. They're not gonna take down their family portrait and put up a poster of some random comic book. You know what I mean?
Single guys probably will.
Right. If they got the room, because again, there's a whole bunch of people putting out indie books right now. You know. So I'll put stuff like knickknacks and posters in the tiers, to make it, if they want to, they can go ahead and do that. But the stretch goals are going to be for content in the book. So in the tiers themselves, I'll have a tier that has tchotchkes and knickknacks, posters and cards and all that stuff, if they want to get it. But mainly it's just going to be the book, or like 2 books, for a small discount. And then it's going to be go straight into the books plus original art.
Okay. All right.
So it'll be the book with an original art page, and it'll have the actual page on there.
Oh, all right.
So if you wanted to get it, you get it, you purchase it, and then it'll go half opacity and say sold out,
Yep.
And then keep it going like that all the way to the bottom. And the very last tier is going to be, if you want, you get the book, you get whatever comes with it, and then you get the cover painting. That'll be last tier.
All right. Sweet.
Just keep it simple.
Let's see. He's like an amalgamation. He has the stunning good looks of Rick, the sultry voice of Marsupial, and the quick wit of Todd the dog hater, who totally burned the wolf earlier today. Welcome, Double Cross Comics. I wouldn't take Dillard, whom I've never heard of before's word. He bought Vestry.
I did buy Vestry. That was a mistake.
Vestry made by the artist of Stairs, Shabby.
Yeah, this is Vestry right here. I have it right here. This is his comic. Shabby's comic.
Vestry. Huh.
Didn't like it that much at all, actually. However, it did come with an ash can that was much better than the comic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I shouldn't have bought 2 of them. I bought 2 of them.
That'll teach you. No. Adult. Joke's on you. I have the mental capacity of a 2-year-old.
No.
Goals, stairs.
Yeah, we used to make fun of Shabby a lot because every time he went live streaming, he was constantly working on the same set of staircases.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I guess he was having trouble getting the staircase right. And I actually got the book. Dude, the staircases show up in like 2 panels, and that's it.
And you spent all that live stream.
Like, dude, like for a month straight, it was like staircases everywhere.
For 2 pages worth. Oh my.
Not 2 pages, 2 panels.
2 panels. Oh. For a whole month's worth of stair streaming.
Yeah, this is it here. These 2 bottom panels. That is the extent of where the staircases are involved in this book.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh wow.
So,
my goodness.
You know, you work hard on this stuff, you know.
Well, yeah. There's that. All right, cool. Looking pretty cool.
So what do you think of the buckler? Do you think it's worthwhile to take a look at?
So far, so good. I definitely want to learn more and see some more interiors a little closer up. I mean, it helps to have seen what you've shared on screen, but I want to get a closer look at the campaign, how you lay it out, and I'd love to see a trailer. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, let me pull up a couple of pages of interiors. Let's see where they at. Like here's some more. Here's another one here where he, the buckler is walking from his. This is where he just gets out of the what do you call it? The bus station, and he's walking back to his shop. And this is where you kind of get a little bit of a foreshadowing here as he's walking up these stairs. You see these banners. These are the banners for the Gateway 4, the new heroes that have kind of taken over the town. And these are these two whores that he knows. And they're asking him, hey, you want to have a good time? And he's like, hey, not today, ladies. I got business. You know? So just that kind of thing. Things like where it's just passing time. You get a little bit of a sense of his personality and how he interacts with people. Because the thing is, he is a villain and people know who he is, but nobody bothers him because how can they, you know?
Right. So the Gateway 4, they're the official heroes of the book?
Yeah.
Huh.
You know what? Let me pull down a physical page. It gives you a better look at the Gateway 4.
That's interesting. Like dedicating a book to the story and the background of a villain or a former hero turned villain.
Mm-hmm.
That's a neat take on it.
Let's see here.
Hale Stairs, The Future of Art. Cosmic Artist Pro Secret says, interiors are so 2020. 2021 is all about interiors.
Let's see what's happening on this page here. Yeah, it's a standoff with the bum. That's the other guy. Let's see. I gotta find the pages. They're kind of scattered because I'm missing. I kind of moved some things around.
Okay.
Is this one the right one?
Double Cross Comics says Shabby should make a comic book filled with stairs. Just travel and draw stairs.
Yeah, see, this is another image from the. This is the girl Marie that lets him in. This is the guy kind of on the floor because he tried to attack the buckler with the bottle, missed completely because he's drunk and fell on the floor with his butt kind of came out. But making him look super pathetic. But these are all, I'm doing all these digitally because they're not big dynamic action scenes, you know.
Let's
see. There's some pages I don't want to show because they give away what happens in the story.
Right. So even though you're working digitally, in any digital software program, you can emulate or simulate different media. Are you more or less using like are you doing like a traditional ink kind of effects in the software program?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use one brush exclusively, and that's Real G Pen, which is just the G Pen, the standard inker pen that comes with the Clip Studio, with a little bit of choppiness to it.
Okay.
And I want to use that for that to make it all look uniform. Like for instance, this is here after he tells him, "I'm coming for you, Harrington, you son of a bitch." He throws off his cape, and then you see him making a mad dash. And then Harrington's like, "Get the hell out of here. He's coming right for us." The guy's like, "Dude, we're like 300 yards away. Take it easy." And then the buckler comes running in towards the edge of the cliff. So, and then the next scene, which I don't want to show, but it's the next scene is a view from down here, from the water level. and it's looking like you're pointing the camera directly up and showing him do the long jump.
Right.
And that's the end of the prologue.
Okay, so they're on they're off on another. Those two people are like on.
Yeah, these two people are in the helicopter. He's like leaning on the seat in this one.
Oh, okay.
And in this scene, you see his hand there, like he's talking to the pilot. And the pilot's like, "Get back there and sit down. What are you doing?"
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a leap.
Mm-hmm.
So Three Caps Comics is curious about how many kneecaps does the buckler have?
2.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I can answer that quite easily.
Cool. Right on. All right, cool. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. That was... Boy, I'm sounding goofy. All right. Let's wrap this up here. Everybody go sign up for the early sign up for the buckler. Get a chance. Well, by signing up, you'll definitely get a 3-inch buckler sticker, and you'll also get a special gift, which is going to remain secret.
Not only that, you'll have the opportunity. I am giving away the opportunity to back this book. I'm not even charging you for the opportunity to back the book.
There you go.
See, originally what I was going to do is this book was going to be invite only. And I was going to, you were going to have to pay me money to be in a raffle. And if you won the raffle, I would invite you to purchase the book.
Oh, that's interesting. So Three Caps Comics comes back with sounds like garbage. I would never back a book starring a character with less than 3 caps.
Oh man.
Yeah, brutal.
Sounds like I might have to retcon some buckler kneecaps.
Yeah. Eagle is saying, is the sticker of Harrington?
It is not. I would never make a sticker of that bastard Harrington. This guy's sleeping with the buckler's ex-wife.
Oh my gosh. How rude.
Right?
All right. You got the floor, sir. Please share with the world how you can be found on social media.
Well, you can find me, or if you would be so kind as to drop my YouTube channel back in there.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You can find me on social media at Dillard Draws. Right now, I'm pretty much only on Twitter. So my Twitter handle is at Dillard Draws. And my YouTube is Dillard Draws. And that's where you can find me. And, you know, we have a good time. We do fantastic and creative things. And I would encourage all of you guys to make sure to go out there and talk about the buckler. In any chat you go to, in any live stream you see happening, talk about the buckler. Let people know that the buckler exists and is going live Friday, November 6th. Thank you.
Friday, November 6th.
And thank you very much, WyzGyz, for having me on.
My pleasure. It's good to get to know you better. Are you shooting to do your campaign in like 30-day funding stages followed by going in demand? Assuming it's fully funded.
No, it's going to be 30 days only.
Really? So 30 days of funding. Are you going in demand at all, or are you cutting it off?
I will be going in demand until the book is complete.
Oh, all right.
Which should be about a month after.
All right.
And don't tell nobody, but I'm actually going to re-up for another 30 days after the first 30 days.
Oh my gosh.
But as far as you guys know, it's a 30-day campaign. So get that money in quick.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Because you have 30 days and only 30 days.
Yeah. You don't want to be one of those who misses out and then regrets it later. Yeah. So you can find me on Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment. On Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, on Twitch at WyzGyz Twitches, on Parlay at WyzGyz Parlays. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. Make sure you don't miss any videos and streams. Drop some comments down below. Let us know your favorite part of the buckler or what you're most excited about on this campaign. Thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys have been awesome and awfully funny. Thanks to everyone who watches this on replay, and thank you to our very special guest, Dillard. We are ending the broadcast in 3, 2, 1.